To understand the role of doulas today, we need to explore their historical roots. While doulas in hospitals may seem like a modern concept, the idea of continuous support during childbirth has been around for centuries. Across cultures, childbirth was traditionally a community event, with women supported by family members and experienced caregivers who provided emotional and practical care. In the 20th century, the rise of the medical model of childbirth replaced this communal support with the clinical care. While this shift improves outcomes for high risk pregnancies, it often left low risk mothers over medicalized and isolated from their natural support systems. Today, our increasingly fragmented society, made worse by the pandemic, has created a void in the kind of continuous support families once relied on. That's where modern doulas come in, bridging the gap between traditional care and modern medicine. Unlike the intervention heavy medical approach, doulas provide the continuous care that most women need to give birth safely and confidently. They empower mothers, improve outcomes, and ensure a more positive birth experience. The pandemic further highlighted their importance. During this time, doulas were recognized as essential members of the care team, stepping in to provide critical support even when hospital access was limited. So doulas are not a new concept. They represent a return to the kind of personalized, continuous care that has always been essential for healthy births and strong families. The concept of doula care has deep historical roots, dating back to ancient Greece. In this era, women were known as Maiai, provided critical emotional and physical support to the expectant mothers during childbirth. These women weren't medical practitioners, but their presence was invaluable. The Maiai played a vital role in ensuring that the mothers felt comforted and empowered throughout the birthing process. They offered reassurance, practical assistance, and guidance during labor and delivery, creating an environment where a woman could feel safe, could feel supported. Their work not only contributed to the safer births, but also to more positive birth experiences. That lays the foundation for what we recognize now as doula care. This ancient practice demonstrates the enduring importance of that continuous, compassionate support during childbirth, a principle that remains at the heart of modern doula work. Childbirth has always been a deeply spiritual and communal experience for Indigenous Americans, with women playing central roles in guiding and supporting one another through this transformative journey. In many Indigenous cultures, childbirth is seen as a holistic process that connects the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual realms. Female relatives and elders provide both practical assistance and spiritual guidance, ensuring that the mother feels supported and empowered throughout the labor and delivery. One beautiful example of this is the blessing way ceremony. It's a sacred ritual that honors the expectant mother and invokes blessings for a safe and harmonious birth. Symbolism from the Indigenous medicine wheel often plays a role in the ceremony, guiding mothers through the stages of labor and into her new role as a mother. This reflects that interconnectedness of life cycles and the profound importance of community in the perinatal period. This approach underscores how deeply childbirth has been valued as a communal experience, with women supporting each other in ways that were both sacred and practical, a tradition that continues to inspire the work of doulas and other obstetrical healthcare workers today. Even in colonial America, women supported one another during childbirth in deeply meaningful ways, continuing that tradition of communal care. However, the early 1900s marks a significant shift as obstetrical care moved under the umbrella of medical practice. Between the 1940s and the 1960s, the use of twilight birth became widespread. This practice involves administering morphine and scopolamine to anesthetize laboring mothers. While addressing pain, for sure, this often left them disoriented and disconnected from their birth experience. In the 1960s, the epidural emerges as the safer and more effective option for pain relief, and it was considered a true lifesaver and a modern medical marvel for mothers. However, many of the impersonal and isolating practices associated with twilight birth still lingers even without it now that we have the epidural. So these practices included things like mothers laboring and birthing alone, separating babies from their mothers immediately after birth, discouraging breastfeeding in favor of formula feeding, or increasing the reliance on surgical interventions or now pharmaceutical interventions. While medical advancements undoubtedly are saving lives, they often come at a cost of the emotional and the physical connection during childbirth, which can leave many women without the support support they need to thrive during this difficult and transformative experience.